You will never decenter men until you stop believing that the deity you worship is male. Oh my God, she just said she gotta be kidding. No way, she just gotta be kidding. What do you Oh, you shaking the table. This is one of the things that led to my deconstruction. When I asked the question, why do we call God a man? And why don't we call God a woman? If we're going to give God a gender, wouldn't it make sense to give God the gender of the person or the gender that actually gives life, if we're going to do that? If not, then God should be genderless. They're technically non-binary. And when I couldn't get an answer for that, and I was told that I was doing too much by asking that question, that's when I knew that it was time for me to kind of step away a little bit and dig into that more. If somebody tells you you need to stop asking questions about something, you need to ask more questions and start doing more research. But I say all of that to say, part of the reason why we have such a hard time breaking away from the patriarchy is because our religion, if you're Christian or even if you're Muslim, any Abrahamic religion, to be honest with you, is so male centered. And then when you start thinking about that and how it affects our society, especially with patriarchy, and then you also think about that, like, why would a religion be taught that has men at the center, men as a position of power? Who would benefit the most from that? Men. And then you got to start asking yourself a question. Well, then, did men make this up? And once you get there, you're on to something.
The same men who tell us women that they're having it the hardest. They're having it the hardest because they're the same men who are either cut out from the system or are not designed to benefit from the system. Let's take black men, for example. Black men have continuously worked to ensure that they get a step in to the system, that they do not get excluded, that they are not black women. And black women can be excluded, but we the men, black men, we need to be in the system so that we can keep control of black women. That's exactly what they agreed to. We would give you a little bit of privilege because you're a man, because the system is designed for men, to benefit the interest of men. So it's much better, it would logically make sense for you as a man to benefit, but you would not benefit systemically because of the color of your skin, because you're still black. And we still don't F with you because of the color of your skin. You're a man, though. Yeah, we'll give you credit for that. But stay in your lane, know your place. So do black men know their place? No. Black men have worked continuously to be included into the system, and you can see it with the politicians and how the system is set up. It is designed to fail. It is not designed to prosper. The way that I'm speaking, I'm making it lightly, but it's not. Like the system, the democracy, it is designed to make black people remain in poverty because the democracy is the worst that have been given. It's easier to access, it's easier to destabilize, it's much easier to even ensure that the people remain where they are while benefiting the interest of white capitalists, white imperialists. Okay, I hope I'm reaching somewhere. So everything is really interconnected, even in sectors that you would never really think possible.
Decentering men is not about not interacting with men. It's more about managing your expectations with men. It's about realizing that most of the men you interact with are not going to be that guy. And if he's giving unserious energy, just simply match the energy and get what you can get out of the situation and enjoy yourself. Separate yourself from the outcome of this man because the outcome for you is irrelevant. The only way the outcome becomes relevant is if he makes it relevant. I'm going to give you an example. You can have consensual, safe relations with men and take them unseriously because that's how he's acting. But if this man behaves differently, then you can move him out of that unserious category and into a considerate category. That's what it means. Just manage your expectations around.
I'm not a thing of giving men my body or giving men access to my body because a gynecologist is very expensive, and having a man who cannot afford me to access my body with the possibility of him giving me a baby that he cannot obviously afford puts me at risk of me supporting his lineage that's gonna carry his name. Now, I'm not about to do that. I do not care. It's important for a man to be somewhere where I need to be. His finances need to be in order for him to access a woman, because I lose a bit too much in the system as a woman and as a black woman. Do you understand? I'm a black woman living in a society that has already put me on the bottom of the barrel.
She's right. Decentering man is much more than just decentering man on the physical plane. It's about decentering the idea that God is the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. You see how they leave out woman in it, our feminine energy in it, and there cannot be a God without a female who is the creator, right? Decentering man is also about thinking that man should lead you like you are a sheep. Decentering man is also about working with your masculine energy that you have here. And so it's decentering man is not about going to the extreme, right? It's about finding the mid point. It's about coming into a right relationship with your feminine energy and with your masculine energy.
Remember, you need to balance your feminine energy, which is the most dominant focus energy. Without it, without the creation of a woman, male would have not existed. No, like I'm really talking deep right now. The man has the X chromosome, which exists also in the female chromosome. Well, the X chromosome, the XX chromosome that the female has, exists also in the male as well. It's not the woman carrying the Y and also the male carrying the Y. Is the male carrying the X and the female carrying the XX. That immediately tells us that you have the egg in you that carries the X. And the female also has the egg as well. Okay? You were created from a woman, the male. When they were saying go out and multiply, they weren't talking about women. Women were already here. That is something also men are very proud of, right? They're very proud of that there isn't many men on the planet, right? They were talking about them. Spiritually, they were talking about them to go out and multiply themselves in the world, right? We were already here. We were already too many women. This is why also in the last 25 million years, men were stable. Men were already having a stable bloodline when it comes to the Y chromosome that they have, the genetic mutation that they are, right? But over the years, it's been going lower and lower and lower. And we're going to see a decline of men as well in the next coming years. We are going to witness the evolution of the next generation. So when we tell men that we are decentering you as the creator, we are coming to acknowledge that you couldn't have been the creator. This is why science does not even allow women, and they have so many bunch of theories. There's no way you could have created me, but there's a way that I could have created you without you. Your creation needs me. You cannot create outside of the female because you were created from the female energy. From the one cell, there was two cells. From itself, it knows how to multiply itself like a woman would multiply herself. But you cannot do that. Your body is not that intelligent to do what my body can do. And I should be proud of that simple fact. I should raise my girls to be that they are the natural leaders. They are the ones to govern the earth. They are the ones to be the protectors of this planet that have been taken by them, by the Y chromosome.
Requires a stream of consciousness, I ain't gonna lie. Because I'm just like, I have so much to say, but I didn't see myself, like really see myself.
I could not connect to God until I referred to God as a woman. Like, then it made sense. Everything clicked. Everything fell into place. I started to understand the earth again, which is natural to me. Children are naturally tapped into that energy. We live in a society, ooh, baby, there's a thought coming. We live in a society that needs us to be disconnected from femininity. And we're taught these false concepts. And let me say, it is what you make of it, right? They're concepts, femininity, masculinity. But we're taught that essentially to be a woman is inherently wrong. When that same logic, if it can be called logic in itself is a concept. That same logic is the reason that we are here today, living in a world where, while women are subdued and taught to fall in their place, and every time they step out, the world is falling apart because of you. You're making the world the way that it is. Right now, everyone's in shambles. The way that it is, because they were given too much power that they have no handle on. You see what I'm like? You get what I'm saying? Like, without having a balance, this power that they were given is throwing them for a loop, and they're fucking imprisoned by it. It is fucking with their heads. Do you see the reality that we live in? The reality that we live in is in result of everything that we have been taught. This is the creation of a patriarchy. The patriarchy that we were taught is the reason why we are exactly where we are today. And a lot of us will turn again to this male god that they teach us, begging for some type of release or relief. And
doesn't make sense.
Just continue to play into the destruction of our world. Our earth is dying. Our earth is dying because we are so disconnected from it. Our earth bears fruit. Who is she? She bears fruit. That's why we call her Mother Earth. That's why we call the land a woman. They teach us this woman is to be conquered. But femininity is present in the bear who is willing to kill for her cubs. So the earth that they consider being weak, all the lands that they name after women and claim as she, this earth is turning on us because she is going to protect herself. We have lost all defenses to this system. We don't know how to protect ourselves. Our intuition turns off. We only listen to what the man tells us. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't. Not until he taps in. Not until he really understands himself again. Outside of gender binaries. As energy. We are all just energy. And when I tap into like the goddess in me, I can see energy again. I can see energy. This is the frequency kids are on. Our society is sick and we enable it because of what we're taught. We are taught how to be enablers. And then when society fails and everything falls apart, it goes back on our shoulders. Especially if you're a black woman, you're the reason that the men walked away from you. You're the reason that they're unable to take care of their families. You're the reason that your sons hate you. You're the reason that they're violent. Come on now. When it's the system, and it's not just the system of white supremacy, it's not just the system of patriarchy, it's everything. This narcissism that we enable is at the root of the religious teachings that they give us. At the root of it, begging a man for his attention, allowing him to destroy you, making amends with him, despite it being his own flawed logic that makes him act out in the ways that he does.